Hello, world, and welcome to another installment of the United Hour. I am President Chad, and we have a lot of things to discuss today. We have to talk about what is going on with Manchester United and all these draws. What is going on with our attack? Is there a crisis? What's going on? We're hearing some talk that Ralph, is fed up with Cristiano Ronaldo. How true is that? We're going to be discussing it. We're also going to be discussing what can we do to win and put the game away on Sunday. Do we even have a chance against Manchester City? We're going to be discussing it. We're also going to be discussing the Super League is supposedly back. And UEFA has also put out their, how should I put it, their format for Champions League next season. We're going to be discussing that too. But we're going to start off with some big news in the football world. And, the owner of Chelsea, Roman Abramovich, has put Chelsea up for sale. This is as a result of the war going on in Ukraine. And we're going to talk a little bit about why that is. But let's bring the panel on the inside. So inside with me, we got the man Big Phil, the Bajan out there in Canada. We got Devin down there in Miami. And right here in the Caribbean with me, we got the man Tony Stark, aka Herms, and Zachary. How you gentlemen going? Everybody good?
Hi, good night. Not bad. You?
Good, good.
Now, I know for some people they might be wondering, well, who is Tony Stark and why is he here? Does the world need saving? And Tony Stark is a Chelsea supporter. And I thought, it'll be important to get the perspective of a Chelsea supporter when we jump into this whole conversation. So, Tony, tell me, how do you feel about this news about Roman Abramovich putting Chelsea up for sale? And then we're going to get into that a little more. But how do you feel when you heard the news? What was your thoughts? What's your
Thus
thoughts on the
far,
entire situation right now, actually?
yeah. Thus far, I like what he did since coming in to the club. Um, Knowing his close affiliation to Putin, I don't believe. I believe this was calculated beforehand, knowing that fully well if Putin made a certain movement into the military operations, as he is saying, in Ukraine, this would have been the fallout of it. The try to get at the oligarchs' money. I don't feel panicked or think that the club would be at risk. He is just doing what he has to do to make sure the football continues and his legacy doesn't die due to this whole geopolitical fiasco going on here right now.
All right. So you are saying that you think it was planned. It was well, at least let me don't say planned. It was at least expected.
Yeah.
He would have had it in his mind that is a possibility. This is how things may play off. I want to share this with people because I want people to have a clear appreciation of what exactly is on the cards for Chelsea right now. So take a listen, and then we're going to broaden the discussion.
Absolutely incredible statement from Roman Abramovich. Just to go through it quickly, first of all, he confirms that he is going to sell Chelsea. And he also says that the proceeds from the sale, the net proceeds from the sale, are going to go to a charitable foundation, and that foundation is going to benefit all victims of the war in Ukraine. He also says that he will not be asking for his loans to the club to be repaid. Bear in mind, he's put in about £1.5 billion into Chelsea since he bought the club 19 years ago. And he's also saying that he doesn't want a quick sale. He said that all due process will be followed. He wants this done properly, not quickly, which would seem to suggest that he doesn't think that his assets are going to be frozen by the UK government. because if he was sanctioned and his assets were frozen, he wouldn't be able to sell Chelsea. And he also says that he wants, if possible, to be able to visit Stamford Bridge one last time to say goodbye properly.
So, guys, now that we have all the information in terms of what Roman Abramovich has put out there, right? Talk to me. Anybody has any thoughts or any questions for the Chelsea supporter? You know, before I share my opinion on this.
So my question now going in is, I've seen so far that there's going to be two bids right now that seem legit. One of them was with I think it was a guy who was a co-owner of the Dodgers, and there's another guy, an Egyptian fellow as well, who has a separate bid right now. Are there any two of those bids right now, if you're aware of them, that you favor one over the other, and why?
You muted.
You're muted there, Tony Stark.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't really favor one over the other. I think some might disagree. The capital investment is good. I guess once you could get together a good team, but I have no preference. Once the ambition is to keep the football great, I really don't have a preference who comes.
Well, let me just say, I hope that somebody with an NFL team, an American, take all it over. You know what I mean? Hopefully you all may end up with the same kind of struggle that we have at Manchester United. You know what I mean? Because you know what, somebody like Roman take it all over, because that would be good. Because they would just keep pumping the money. We don't want that. As a good thing, this didn't happen 2 years ago, else we might have seen the sheikh from Saudi Arabia on the inside. What you was going to say? What question you had there, Zach?
My question was, did you hear the rumor about Conor McGregor wanting to buy Chelsea? And what do you think if he did buy Chelsea? You think he would do a good job being the owner, or you think that would just be shambles?
He will be a part owner. I don't think McGregor had that kind of money. I am thinking he's talking that kind of money. he might be the face, but to say nah, I don't think I have a vision for that. I don't know how much he loves soccer or football, however they want to coin it on that part.
Conor McGregor is English, so he.
Oh yeah, but Irish, yeah, so football, right? Yeah, so I really say he's more antics than anything else.
I hear a lot of Chelsea supporters rubbishing Conor McGregor's interest in Chelsea, and as a Manchester United supporter, probably we have a different perspective, because we know that you don't need money to buy a football club. You just need proper connections and a bank willing to lend you money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I understand, you look at Conor McGregor's bank balance and you say, well, yeah, he can't buy the club by himself. And that makes sense. But at the same time, nobody don't need to buy the club by themselves. I mean, Premier League teams' balance sheets show, is a very profitable entity to own. And if you find a bank, an institution willing to lend you that kind of money, I wish I had that money right now. I mean, I would buy all. Yeah, I'd buy Chelsea.
I don't think I
will get relegated, but I will buy all this stuff. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't think like this, because he'll be more concerned himself. I don't think it's like this. Maybe a distraction more than anything else. I
hear you. So Martin Phillip is saying, good afternoon. Chelsea owner says that can say anything because he has been offered 2.2 billion and it was rejected. The British government have not said what they will do with the oligarch or with oligarchs like him, so he has some time. I want to put this out there, and before you leave, Holmes, I want your opinion on this as a Chelsea supporter. I don't believe Roman Abramovich is going to sell Chelsea Football Club. I believe this is straight out of the Russian, how I should put it. The KGB doesn't exist anymore. I can't remember what the new organization is, but the Russian intelligence agency playbook. Because here he is, he's saying, I'm putting the club up for sale. I'm going to give the money to charity, not just any charity, but a charity specifically that helps Ukraine, victims of the Ukraine war, Ukrainians. So all of that sounds good, right? But I am also not rushing to sell the club. And he understands that the only way the sale of Chelsea could go forward is if the British government does not freeze Chelsea. Because if the British government freezes his assets, which does not just include Chelsea, he has a number of multi-million-dollar homes in England and some other interests, right? Real estate and other interests. If his assets are frozen, then he would not be able to sell the club. He also would not be able to gain revenue from the club. As long as they remain unfrozen, he's in a position to sell the club, but he's also in a position to access all of his other assets. So I think this is just a play. This is just a kind of PR something to kind of put it out there, because in England right now, there's a lot of pressure on the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. The opposition and other MPs are putting a lot of pressure on him to start seizing the assets of oligarchs in the UK. Now, there are two reasons why he has been resisting this. People have to understand that London, unlike a lot of us think New York is the center of everything. No, when you're talking about the center of finance, especially loans in the world, the same way it was in with the Atlantic slave trade, everybody used to go to London to get loans, to go and buy ships, and go to Africa to get slaves and come to the West. It is the same way it is now. London is a very important and probably one of the most important places when it comes to finance. Everybody knows about Lloyd's of London and banks such as that. So if London was to make this move, because everybody likes to think about legitimacy, there's a lot of illegal money floating around in the world. You don't just have legitimate people owning stuff. You have oligarchs, you have mafia bosses, you have all kind of people. You have Saudis running not Saudis, you have Arabs running countries that have questionable human rights stuff going on by them, that have money and investments in England. If they move on the oligarchs legally and seize their stuff, it is going to have a ripple effect, because trust me, it's not just Russians going to be afraid. Anybody might start questioning, well, maybe the UK is not the place I need to put my money, because if that is what they're going to do to Abramovich, if they get vexed with me, what are they going to do to me? You understand? So there's a reason why they haven't done it as yet, but it is something that is on the table. And so my final question to you, Holmes, is this: do you think he is serious about selling Chelsea, or do you, like me, think he is just putting this out there so that they would leave him and his assets alone? And obviously, whenever this blows over, well, obviously he would still be owning the club.
Yes, I think it's good optics from the international relations side. Remember, they have people from Belarus kind of, I wouldn't say broken, but doing some negotiations with Ukraine and Russia right now. So, the quote unquote have a ceasefire. So, Putin have his pride, and Ukraine, they want to show, well, okay, not easily quote unquote conquer the left. You all was 91, I think, and we want to have some level of sovereignty. And Putin would want data back down, not him retreating. So I believe Abramovich is paying nice taxes. You never hear he's short on taxes when the year comes. So they need for the Europeans to see, okay, we want to be rough with you. So I believe it's just more optics, because the word I say, I want the due process. With that, they can come back inspired, they can squash this whole military operation and everybody go back hunky-dory. So I believe They just ride in time and it's okay. You need to look good and I need to say something. So we come fair, but not just it. So I agree it's just for the optic. Because there's too much money to be made. Just to trade away because somebody engaged. Or quote unquote engaged as they say.
So you agree with me that it's just for show?
Yeah.
Well,
So
I
that's
mean, if the fact that is out there, if 2-3 other people come with some reasonable bids and he keep rejecting it, I think the gig will be up faster than anything else. So we'll see how that
My
goes.
my whole take is that Chelsea has been built successfully on two things: Roman pumping money into the club, and also Roman has a high turnover at the club as well. So when Tony Stark said he likes what Roma has done to the club, no, you don't. You love what Roma has done to your club. There's no like, there's love. That man should have a statue outside of your club because he is the reason Chelsea Football Club is Chelsea Football Club today, right? At the end of the day,
I agree with that.
yeah, because at the end of the day, I personally didn't know any Chelsea fans prior to 2003. Just to let you know, right? So I mean, my whole take, because I've been hearing from other Chelsea fans as well too, is that they know they will get taken over by a billionaire, right? But they don't know if that billionaire will be as ruthless as Roman. At the end of the day, Roman did pump money into the club, but at the end of the day, Chelsea also went through more men than Jennifer Lopez, right? So it's the same it's the same billionaire that's coming in that's going to take over Chelsea, right? Are they going to do a whole hire and fire? Is that a whole rotation system that's going to happen at Chelsea, right? Because at the end of the day, Roman introduced you to Jose Mourinho. Roman introduced you to the likes of Iron Robin, Drogba, right? So it's two things, like I said, the high turnover at Chelsea, and also the money that he's pumped in. Because at the end of the day, I did a calculation, and within the 18 years Roman has been there, it equates to about 120 million per summer transfer window, right? Give or take. So yeah, Chelsea are the English Kim Kardashian. Boy, boy. But yeah, that's just my take though. So you know, if an NFL owner does come and take you over, well, good luck. That's
Welcome
all.
to the club.
Yeah, no pun intended though.
Well, Tony Stark, thanks for taking the time for being part of
Nice
the
man, thanks
panel.
again.
I wish I could say I wish you all the best, but I can't say the same for Chelsea Football Club, right? So have a good one.
I'll take care, guys. All the best, man.
All right. So, well, I mean, that is it about that, you know. We're not really going and talk too much about Chelsea. We just had to talk about it because it is news and it is relevant to what's going on in the football world and the Premier League. The next topic I want us to jump into is also an international topic because we're talking about the return of the Super League. So there's been a release. Now remember, right now there are 3 clubs in the Super League: Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus. And they have released a new format that they are hoping to bring the Super League back in 2024. They're talking about a 40-team league, 2 tiers of 2 groups of 20. And where, the challenge that people had with the original version of the Super League was that, these clubs would be fixed. The 10 starting clubs, right? Which included Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool. Am I missing anybody?
Spurs,
Man City.
Spurs,
Spurs
Man
and Man
City.
City.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 7 plus the 3. Those would have been foundation members, and regardless of how they performed in the league, there would be no relegation. So they're changing that up, right? They're saying they're going to have 40 teams, and they're going to have a relegation system, and anybody could get relegated, right? So that is what they are putting out there. And the reason I think they're putting it out there is to get a sense of the feedback, because we know the English clubs and the English supporters really did not appreciate the first version of the Super League. So I believe they're putting it out there pretty much to say, well, hey, this is what we propose, to try to feel and get feedback, not only from the Joe public, but also from clubs whether that is something that they would be interested in. Um, Anybody thinks that the Super League is going to get off the ground, or is the brand Super League too
No, no,
tainted?
I personally think that it's just that a bunch of these other clubs are upset because they're not getting the same TV revenue as the Premier League is getting, especially on a worldwide basis. And I think a lot of that was the fault of the clubs of their own because they wanted to create their own channels, have their own matches on that, try to basically monopolize that. And they thought they get the same pull as English clubs worldwide. They were proven wrong. And now they're trying to find some way to tap into that English money. And so I feel right now this league is not going to go anywhere, especially after the fallout that happened from the last league. And that pretty much everybody's coming back and saying that it's going to ruin football as it is, especially grassroots. And all countries came together on that. And so right off the bat, they're not going to get English support. And without that English support, English money, this is going nowhere.
Anybody?
I gonna say something that I think is I don't know if it's my opinion, but most people think it's facts. Um, most of the fan base for any sport doesn't matter if it's football, soccer, basketball comes from Asia. That's my take, right? Um, and most people in Asia, they're probably going to ask one question: where is their favorite team playing, or when can I watch my favorite team? If my favorite team is Real Madrid, when and where can I watch Real Madrid, right? If Real Madrid are no longer in the Champions League, then where are they, right? So imagine if you have an entire Asian market looking to watch the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona and also Juventus, right? What's to stop them from buying the channels to go and watch that specific, right? So once they buy that channels, that's the revenue coming in. So it's only three teams so far, but we seen how corrupt some of our owners are, right? So yes, say to be launching in 2024. It's now 2022, and anything can happen in 2 years, right? So
Now, after the Super League, the British Parliament put forward some legislation that would pretty much make it illegal for Premier League teams to participate in any unsanctioned activity. And when I say unsanctioned, I mean both by the Premier League and by UEFA, right? So that legislation has not passed as yet. Some people are calling for that legislation to be sped up so that before this comes off the ground. I personally think the Super League need a rebrand. It need a rebrand.
Very popular, man. Like even the sales, like the Jordan 4 sales, off-white sales. You know them as a woman shoe,
I don't know
but
who
one
or
of them, one
what
of the most,
is
one of the biggest.
okay. Yeah. So I think they need a rebrand. I don't think people are going to appreciate you know the taste of the Super League, the bad taste, even though they're changing the format, is still in people's mouth. So I really can't see the Super League coming off in any meaningful way. So let's talk a little bit about UEFA and what changes UEFA proposes to the Champions League. So Champions League changes for 2024-2025. They want to go from 32 teams, to 36 teams. Right? They want group stages to be replaced by one big league table. So you're going to have 36 teams, and each team is going to be playing 5 home games, 5 away games. So each team is going to be playing 10 games. The top 8 sides in the league phase will qualify automatically to the knockout stage, and teams finishing 6th to 24th will compete in a 2-legged playoff to secure their path to the last 16. Let me be honest. When I look at this, and I hear what the Super League, the new version of the Super League is proposing, it seems to me very much to be the same thing. Does it look that way to you guys?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah, it does look very similar. My thoughts is to like if you have something that's great already, why need to change it? You know, like I think that we've enjoyed the Champions League for years and how the format has been, and even when they changed the no away goals rule, I just found that that was ridiculous. I found that made football more entertaining, more interesting, and more competitive. So I just think people always looking to change things, even though they don't need changing. So
Well, I mean, Darren Garner is agreeing with us, saying that's basically the Super League, which it is. But to answer your question, Zach, I think the reason they changed it is because of the Super League. You know, the Super League is the reason that they changed it. And that's why the change now pretty much mirrors what the Super League is going to be. Because the idea is they need to increase revenue and increase share of revenue and also pull as many other clubs into the fold. Because we now have Champions League, we now have UEFA football, now we have Conference League. And if they increase Champions League from 36 to 32 teams, it means there are more teams that are going to be pulled into the Champions League pool. And at the end of the day, all of this is for UEFA to raise their revenue, to raise more money, and then also they're going to be giving out more money to clubs that participate, right? Which was the whole reason that teams wanted to start the Super League anyway, because they found it wasn't making enough money from Champions League. Zach already said that he don't think this is gonna. He doesn't look forward to these changes. Anybody looking forward to the thought? I mean, England might get an extra place or two.
So
Mightn't be a top 4 fight again. It might be a top 5 or top 6 for Champions League.
so even if that is the case, my biggest question now is, all right, how do you see the teams? And
Say
that's
that
the
again.
part that, so like, for example, you say, okay, there's going to be X amount of teams that are in there. I think it's going to be 36, they said. And each team is going to play 10 matches, 5 home, 5 away. How are you going to figure out how you're going to draw who plays who? How are you going to see the teams? Like, what's going to be their ranking system for that? And that's the
That
part that
is,
I'm very curious about.
I am curious about that as well. Because if you're only playing, it's 36 teams and you're
Mhm.
playing 10
It's going
matches.
to be, yes, yes,
So if it is, they put the top tier against the bottom tier.
correct.
Obviously, the top tier, the first 9 teams, whoever they pick those top tier teams to be, they
Hmm.
obviously going to have an advantage. So how are you going to put these groups together? How are you going to do it? And they haven't released all that information, but time will tell. Big Phil, thoughts?
I won't say it's an advantage because football plays on the day, right? You can put two teams on paper and you can say, yes, this team is going to win. But on the day when football plays, upsets are meant to happen. It's always a David versus Goliath type of moment in football, right? So in terms of the seeding, UEFA not going to worry about that. UEFA probably going to cock up something within the next 3 or 4 weeks to the next month or so, and they'll figure out something, man. They got enough idiots up there to figure out something out. That's all I can say.
All right, Zach, any closing words before we head into some United business?
I completely agree with what Darren Garner said. If it's not broken, don't fix it. We've had the Champions League for years. I mean, people are just always looking to make money. So I understand how they're trying to compete with the Super League, but if you just keep it the same way, I think that it'll be better. Anyway, nobody's really interested in the Super League happening, I'm sure, except the people making the money.
Keep it the same way and increase your payout to the teams. You know what I mean? That's it. Just keep, because that's what the bigger clubs want. They want more money. Keep it the same way. Give the bigger clubs more money. When you reach into the quarters, increase your payout. When you reach semi-finals, finals, increase your Champions League payout. And I think that should be it. But they seem to be determined to press forward with this, so we'll see how it goes. I personally think the no away goals rule is something that they're going to assess at the end of this season. And it wouldn't surprise me if in the next 2 to 3 seasons we see it return. I don't think it's going to be a permanent state of affairs. So Now let's start to talk about some Manchester United business. It has been put out there in around in print media in the UK that Sir Alex Ferguson has suggested Ancelotti as an option for Manchester United if Pochettino goes to Real Madrid. Now, it needs to be said that even though it's the first time we're hearing about Ancelotti's name in the mix for Manchester United's coaching job, so far the two main candidates seem to be Ten Hag and Pochettino. Even though we now hear in Ancelotti's name, it is also said that, Sir Alex Ferguson would have mentioned Ancelotti in the past as somebody Manchester United should have considered. It doesn't seem like they considered him at all because we've never heard Ancelotti's name associated with Manchester United before now. So I want to put it out there, guys. We've always had a debate Ten Hag Pochettino. So let's put that to rest. We're not asking out of the three who you would prefer. Would you be interested in taking a multiple Champions League winner, a guy who has won 2 Champions League as a player, and I think 3 Champions League as a coach, a guy who has won leagues in Spain, in Germany, in Italy, and he has won a league in England as well, a serial winner? Would anybody take Ancelotti as the coach of Manchester United in the summer? Big Phil, let's start off with you.
So you're asking if we're going to take a coach
If you would want Ancelotti.
Yeah, I'll get there. So you're asking if we're taking a coach who's won multiple Champions Leagues with different teams, has won leagues and has won the domestic league in various countries, and has a very great resume. Why not bring back Jose Mourinho then? If we're looking to do that, then bring back Jose Mourinho. I'm not for this whole Sir Alex Ferguson suggesting this person and that person. So Alex Ferguson suggested David Moyes, for crying out loud, man. Come on.
He didn't suggest David Moyes. He hoisted David Moyes on us like a bad rash that we didn't want.
Exactly. So I mean, at the end of this, to Alex Ferguson, you just sit in the fans and you just sit in the stands with the other United fans and you chew your chewing gum and yeah, that's about it. At the end of the day, Ancelotti isn't the guy to take United forward. We need somebody a bit more energetic and vibrant, right? So we already have this guy Ralph's trying to steer the ship. We don't need another guy trying to steer the ship as well too, right? So Ancelotti, just stay at Real Madrid, do your thing, and yeah, I'm not interested in Ancelotti. No.
Good afternoon to KM Dubra. I hope I pronounced that right. Shouting out Devin. So Devin, are you having some Ancelotti or no?
For this case, no. It's my debate about this now is like, all right, you want somebody he could come in maybe for like a season or two. He might win something, but that's not guaranteed. But I want somebody who's going to have the club as a whole set up for success, or who's going to play an attractive attacking style of football, who's going to make sure the academy is also producing the same type of football and also producing talents that can come into the first team. Ancelotti, yes, he is a winner, but what's his track record for staying at clubs for long as well too? And so with me, my biggest fear is that he only comes for a couple seasons, he leaves, and then we're in this same situation all over again, just 2-3 years down the lane from now. So as great of a manager as he is, he could stay at Real Madrid for now.
Zach, before I come to you, I want to read this comment from Aaron Charles. Remember, well, I guess he's talking about remember him telling us that Ancelotti was the man. Now Fergie wants him after he recommended Moyes and the rest of those quacks. He's now decided to speak facts. If anyone thinks Ancelotti going to leave Madrid for structureless United, you all must be smoking. And Darren Garner is saying only if the board heeds to his directions. We brought in a lot of decorated coaches and one minimal. Zach, for me, I do think that to respond to Aaron Charles a little bit, I don't think it's a matter of Ancelotti leaving Madrid. You know. I think Ancelotti becomes an option if Pochettino chooses Madrid. You know,
Yeah.
um, because if Real Madrid say they want Pochettino, it means they're gonna let go Ancelotti, so he'll be available. But assuming that that scenario takes place, would you take Ancelotti at United?
I wouldn't go with Ancelotti at all. I mean, Ancelotti, of course, as you all said, he's won multiple different trophies, leagues and Champions Leagues in different countries, different teams. Um, he's been around for a while, and he's 62 years old now. I, so for someone for United, I want somebody that wants to be like the next Fergie. I want someone to come and prove themselves, um, just like how Fergie came in to the team, and just we didn't start off well with Fergie, but look at where we reached, And I want somebody like that, somebody fresh, somebody vibrant, like Phil said, somebody with attacking style football, like Devin said, and to take us forward, that's going to be here for 10, 20 years. I want somebody like that, and I think Ancelotti wouldn't be the right person. I don't think we need somebody like that. Just as with Mourinho, it's basically just bringing Mourinho back. But I mean, Ancelotti is doing a good job at Real Madrid, but I think we have a lot of structural issues within the club, and we need somebody young and upcoming that really wants to show what they got on the big stage. And I wouldn't go near him. Um, I
Ancelotti comes across like Gandalf, in Lord of the Rings, just old and been around forever. It seems. Darren Garner is saying that longevity is not the model in modern football. And I want to throw this out to you guys before we switch to talking about the crisis we have in attack. And the question I want to put is going to be open. Anybody could jump in. Is this: as United supporters, we tend to want, as Zach said, that whole Fergie and some of our historic coaches of the past style, where somebody comes in and they're the manager for a long time. We don't want short-termism. We don't want to run the Chelsea model. Bring somebody in for 2 seasons, win some stuff, fire them, keep it fresh, right? Most supporters are like that. That is the hope. But has football changed? As Darren is saying, has
Yes.
football changed? Is it that
Yes.
now let's be real, we're saying that, but Klopp has been at Liverpool for a little while.
Pep too.
Pep has been
So
at City for a little while and has had success.
yes.
So, as a United supporter, do you all mind just bringing somebody in short term, or you would prefer to build for the long term with a manager? I'm not talking about the club building. I'm talking about with one specific manager. What's your preference?
So for this one right now, when I say long term, I'm thinking like 5 years now with the way how the game is going now. It's not likely we're going to get somebody that's in charge for 26 seasons again now. That's absolutely unheard of. But in this modern game, it seems like managers are gone after 2 seasons at that before they get time to implement their system. If you get 5, 6 years out of a manager right now, I consider that to be a long-term manager, and that gives enough time for his system to be implemented across the club from all the way from the first team going down to the under 11, so that everybody's playing that style. And by the time those youngsters come up, some of them can be ready to jump into the first team. They're already used to playing that style, and they can slot right in. That's the idea when I'm saying that I want long-term.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
Anybody thinks?
yeah. The problem with that as well is that, like, because of our club is owned by the Glazers, not they're not gonna get the freedom. Like, I feel like no matter who the manager is, they're not gonna get the freedom that Klopp and Pep and Tuchel gets. So I think it's gonna be quite difficult. I mean, we might have to sell the club and have new owners to be able to give the manager complete control, and that's a very disappointing thing to think about. But it might be the truth.
Well, I mean, I don't really want any manager to have complete control, because that era. That is one aspect of the Fergie era I don't want to see. But I would like to see us run more efficiently with more football people in charge. I am really hoping, regardless of what Ralph does, that Ralph goes upstairs. Because my whole take on Ancelotti is this: if we're looking to bring Ancelotti in for 2 seasons, we might as well leave Ralph as the manager for 2 seasons. Because we're seeing growth and progression with Ralph. You understand what I'm saying? If we're serious about a managerial search, let's at least try to pick a manager that we could get 3 to 5 seasons with. I'm not saying his first contract should be more than 3 years. I'm not saying that. But at least pick somebody that you could see taking the club 3 to 5 years down the road. And if it don't work out and we sack him before, so be it. No problem. But Ancelotti is at best a 2 season solution. We don't need that. We don't need a 2 season solution. We don't need Ancelotti at all in my book. you know. Good evening to Brian. And let's see what is in the comments here. Darren is saying, except don't make the exception is not the rule. Klopp and Pep are the exceptions. Well, that is true, but Manchester United has always functioned in that exceptions. Brian is saying if Ancelotti is to be considered first people to accept him at the Manchester home support. Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. If they put Ancelotti there, I think everybody will rally around and hope that he's successful. Nobody would want him to be unsuccessful. Nobody is going to, no United supporter, at least not match-going fans, are going to boo a Manchester support manager on the first day. You need some bad results before we start turning on you. But at the same time, I'm not sure that that's where we want to go. So, guys, the thumbnail talks about too many draws with Manchester United. Too many draws. And I want to jump in to this topic head first. In our last 3 games, Manchester United has had over 100. Not even our last 3 games, sorry. For our last 3 goals, Manchester United has had over 120 something shots. 120 something good chances, 3 goals. Conversely, Liverpool in the last 3 games has had 40 chances in that same period of time, not 3 games. In that same period of time, Liverpool has had 40 good chances and has produced 12 goals. What is going on with Manchester United's attack? But my first question on this topic is this: does anybody see this as a crisis? Because I don't know, maybe some people may consider me an alarmist, but our lack of productivity in front of the goal, I consider it a crisis at this point. What say you, Big Phil?
You can't really compare Liverpool to United because Liverpool are a well-oiled team, man. Come on, Liverpool have been playing with that front three for God knows how long. At the end of the day, we keep on chopping and changing. 1 minute we're playing with Martial, Rashford, Greenwood. Next minute we're playing with just Rashford and Greenwood. Next minute we're just playing with CR and Sancho and Rashford. We have no identity at the top as yet. We're still trying to figure out if Cavani is a United player. That guy has more holidays than goals, right? So at the end of the day, you got to realize that it is quite alarming, right? We've been very unproductive. Um, not only in the last 3 games, but other than the Leeds game. You can't really tell me where United have beaten a team comfortably by 3 goals. You can't tell me where United have strung together 2 halves and it was saying, yo, you're saying that maybe you're looking forward to the next game. No. It is quite alarming. We've been very unproductive. And our top scorer, like I posted in the group a couple of days ago, 22 shots, 0 goals. If that isn't concerning, then I don't know what is. Right? A lot of people are saying have patience. You can't really be telling me have patience for the last 3 to 5 years as a United supporter. Come on, behave. So it is quite alarming. Um, not sure how we're going to score against City. Probably a Bruno penalty. We'll see.
Man, see a Bruno penalty, boy. You're taking Ronaldo off a penalty duties.
Ronaldo's off of penalties, off of free kicks. The only time
Mention.
Ronaldo probably won't even. Ronaldo's not even at my starting 11 for this one. So
Ronaldo is taking penalties is when we face Atletico Madrid in extra time. That's all.
I hear that. So, Zach, uh, how do you think? And we touched a little bit on this when during the Buzz the Net program. What do you think Ralph needs to do? Because it's being put out there in somebody in the English press that Ralph is fed up. Ralph is frustrated with Ronaldo. And I think one of the biggest challenges, I watched a video that Manchester United put out on YouTube and on the app, put out for training. And I looked at that entire video, not because it was very interesting, but because I was very interested to see who was in the video. And the one person I didn't see was Edison Cavani. I still not seeing Edison Cavani in training. That's not a good sign. So, is one thing to say Ronaldo is a problem, that Ronaldo is an issue, and his lack of production is an issue. But who else do we have? What are your thoughts, Zach?
Cavani's actually the player I have on the back of my shirt right now.
Missing in action, MIA.
Hey, this is when the man was mashing it up last season, huh? So, but yeah, I mean, I think if Ranić, if he were fed up with Ronaldo, then he would make the decision to not play him. So I don't know if there's much truth in that. I mean, Ronaldo is having some trouble. He's misfiring, but you can see that his legs. He doesn't really have the legs anymore. You could kind of see that, and I mean, he got a lot of chances recently. I just think that we need some more crosses into the box for him, because he always gets on at the end of crosses. So I just think that would definitely be a good help. And about Cavani, I mean, I think Cavani has to go. Yeah, I mean, he's going at the end of the season, no doubt about that. But my opinion is, let Ronaldo come on as a sub. As I said in the Bossy Night, let him come on as a sub against City. He might not be too pleased about that, but give Rashford a chance up top. Rashford might do something different in the forward line, rather than on the wings. We've seen that he's not been up to speed, like Sancho and Ilanga, for example. So give him a chance in the middle. He was doing well in, I think it was 19-20 season. He scored a lot of goals with Martial, and he's playing up front. So, I mean, try something different. Bring on Ronaldo as a sub, and that might even push Ronaldo more to prove that he is the GOAT, So give him a kind of energy boost, per se. I think you'd have a hard time if he starts and plays the whole game against City, honestly.
Rude Penguin is saying that in the context of trying to reach fourth, it's definitely a crisis. Ronaldo shouldn't start, but could come on as a sub. So, guys, I want to talk a little bit about the game on Sunday, right? Let's do a little bit of a preview.
Yeah.
Who are your front three? I want everybody to tell me their front three. I'm going to start off with mine. I think Ronaldo shouldn't start the game simply because energy. Yes, it's 7 days between our last game. It is going to be 7 days between our last game and Sunday when we play. And that is more than enough time for Ronaldo to recoup. But we need pace. Our only way to try to beat City is how we used to beat City under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is to catch them out with balls over the top, because City likes to keep a high line. So we need to defend properly, and when we get the ball, we need the likes of Bruno Fernandes, and Paul Pogba to be dinging that ball over the top. I know Elanga could catch those balls. I know Rashford could catch those balls. I know Sancho could catch those balls.
Yes.
I don't know that Cristiano Ronaldo could catch any of them balls over the top. That's just me. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my front three. Elanga, Sancho, and Rashford. Yes, Rashford is out of form,
but it's a derby.
Form.
It's a derby. Form don't matter in a derby.
Get to those balls. And Rashford traditionally scores big goals against the likes of City and Liverpool. We all know that. So that's my three. Devin, talk to me.
If you don't see me here agreeing with you on this right now, that is exactly what I said to Ronaldo for this one. Like, you need to come out with pace in the beginning. You need to come and you need to run, get those defenders tired. And you need to win that ball if people are going to chase down. Because City's going to try and dominate possession, pass the ball around, have you chasing shadows. We need, when we get those chances, when we get that ball from them, we need to, as much as I hate to call it like kick and run, that's exactly what's going to have to happen. We're going to need to set up for counterattack. So you have your front three is exactly what I said. Ronaldo could come off the bench at some point if need be when the legs are getting tired, but to me, he does not have the same speed as the other ones anymore. And I can't believe I'm saying that about him right now, but it just is. It's the reality of the situation right now.
Or even if you start Ronaldo and then bring Rashford on if Ronaldo isn't up to speed in the game, because then if you bring Rashford on in the 60th minute, all the other players are tired and Rashford has energy for days. So
yes, but the other problem with that now is also at least Rashford can still have the legs to track back when City has possession and is trying to come up as well. Well, you see Ronaldo tracking back like that at that point too.
But does Rashford track back?
Well, it'll have to be instilled in him for this one. It's a derby, and he's a Manchester United. He should know. So he should know right off that what this means, and so he's got to come up.
Here's a mistake. Here's the mistake. If we look to challenge City toe for toe, we're gonna get our asses handed to us, right? Don't try and chase down City. Let City come to us, right? I'm gonna slightly go with my front three / front four a bit different, right? No Ronaldo up top. No Rashford up top. I'm playing Jadon Sancho on the left. Or, well, actually, no. I'll play Elanga on the left. I'm playing Sancho on the right. Playing Bruno Fernandes up top. I'm playing Paul Pogba in the 10. And I'm playing Scott and Fred in the midfield.
I was telling Chad about that on the Bussy Net. Remember? Bruno is like a false 9. Yeah.
I'm saying that because Rashford is out of form. Ronaldo, I don't know where his next goal is going to come from. Might as well try something different. And by try something different, I mean surprise City. Because right now, City are expecting Ronaldo to start because it's the Manchester Derby. Try something different. I'll repeat it again. Elanga on the left, Bruno Fernandes up top as a false 9, Sancho on the right, Paul Pogba as the cam or the number 10, Scott and Fred or Matic, whoever, as the pivot.
So none of you would even consider playing the wing backs in this match?
Of course,
yeah. We got to play Tellez and Dallo.
You see, when we talk about pace, I should have clarified my position, and I believe is the same thing that Devin is thinking as well. It's not just about pace in going forward, to the balls over the top or to the counter attack. It is also really helping the defense because it's not about tracking back all the way back, but you need to help the defense. And a lot of times, Cristiano Ronaldo just do have those legs. You know what I mean? Now, let me just read Root Penguin's comment here. We're going to play physical against City too. If they're going to score against us, then it should cost them. And of course, as we need,
we don't have to play physical. Once you keep the ball moving, that's it. Keep the ball moving. That's all you got to do. Don't spend 20 seconds looking to make a decision, unless it's like our back four. But other than that, keep the ball moving. Right? Find space, keep the ball moving, take your chances.
And I also want to respond to Darren Garner. saying we pooping on CR7. We are not. There is nobody here that doesn't want to see Cristiano Ronaldo be successful. And there is nobody here that doesn't think that he still has something to contribute to Manchester United this season. But in the context of this game, now let me ask you guys, all of us think that we shouldn't start Ronaldo in this game. There's the Manchester derby. Big players for big games. Does anybody genuinely, I'm not talking about what you want now, does anybody genuinely believe that Ralph would drop Ronaldo for this game?
Yes, yes, I do. Case in point, look at what happened. Well, I mean, even though I know it's a different manager at the time, look at what happened when we last played Chelsea. Ronaldo came off the bench, and we ended up actually playing fairly well that match.
Darn, I agree with
Aside
that
from a
comment.
stupid VAR decision, we actually played pretty well that match. And so I could see the same thing now. And it's also, imagine that when you have tired legs and now you have Ronaldo already angry that he didn't start, and now he's going to be angry, come out there, play angry, go out there and set up and score the winner. Set it up for him that way too. To me, that makes perfect sense in my book if we have a chance at winning this match.
I think Ronaldo is going to start.
Yep.
I mean, we don't want it, but I think it's gonna happen, bro. I just do.
Unpopular opinion. And I don't know if people are gonna blast me for this here, but if we start with Ronaldo and Harry Maguire, that's us down to 9 men already.
I wish I had, a little stop sign with clapping. I a little interlude with hands clapping because that deserves a round of applause. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion at all. We start Harry Maguire and Cristiano Ronaldo, we would be playing with 9 men.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
If we still had Martial, would you play him?
Can't get any worse. So yeah, I will still play him.
Who
Can't
would
get any
you
worse.
who would you play him for? Rashford or Ronaldo?
No, Martial is good if his back against the goal, so I'll play him up top.
For me, it'll be totally dependent on Martial's form. If Martial was in the form that he had when he left, I really don't know. If he had scored a couple goals since then, because he would have definitely gotten chances. If his form improved even a little bit, I would definitely throw Martial in.
That's where you're wrong, President Chad, because I don't care what form Martial in, he's starting. None of our main strikers have been performing. Bruno has been wasteful in front of goal. Cristiano Ronaldo, 22 shots, 0 goals. So I don't care. Martial starting whether he's in form or not. There isn't much worse Martial can do than CR or Bruno, who are supposed to be our main goal scorers, and Rashford. Come on, starting the guy.
So, guys, before we head into the Darren in the comments was saying, where is CR7 service gonna come from? And I think the service had to come from the wing backs. As well as we expect Sancho to start. Sancho, the quality of crosses have to improve. This kind of put the ball up there and CR7 gonna go and get it. We need to accept the reality that he just not making that kind of height anymore. We had to cross the ball like if we crossing it for Cavani, put the ball on his head and give him a chance to put the ball in the net. Don't just put the ball up there and be like, yeah, just float it up there, like his basketball and his alley-oop. Just float the ball up there in the box, Ronaldo go and get it. No. That ain't happening. we need to improve the quality of our crosses if we really want to get something going with CR7 where service is concerned. Robert Wallace is in the comments and he is saying that he's very confused. I don't know what you all thought he is. What? Sorry. I don't know what you all thought. He's 37. This is not 2010 Ronaldo. Zidane was the only manager who understood how to really use him. I agree. Ronaldo, and what Zidane used to do was sit Ronaldo down. and play him for big games. So on the weekend, for example, if Zidane was coaching the club, Ronaldo would be on the bench.
But in 2010, Ronaldo was playing in a different position.
That is true. Benzema was playing through the middle, and Ronaldo was still playing off of the right and banging in all the goals. Guys, I want to talk about the centre back situation. Who do you want to start? And who do you think is going to start? Strictly
So,
centre back. Go ahead. Then.
so I say Lindelof and Varane. However, somehow it's gonna be Maguire and Varane.
Who do I want to start? Varane and Eric Bailly, but
Is Bailly fit?
yeah, he asked who I want to start. If Bailly's fit, I want Bailly to start. But at the end of the day, we all know that Captain Maguire is going to be next to Varane. So yeah,
I would want Jones and Maguire to start. Nah, I'm kidding.
you better be.
Yeah, Varane and Lindelof as well, and I do think it's gonna be Varane and Maguire. Fortunately, Bailly is a good option too. You know, Bailly or Lindelof with Varane. Varane always has to start.
Rashad is saying the best CD pairing would be Bailly and Varane and or Lindelof. And Lindelof and Varane. And I agree with Rashad very much. I would like to see Varane and Lindelof start. I think Ralph may be a little more willing to drop Maguire than he might be to drop Cristiano Ronaldo for this game. I think so. Would it surprise me if Maguire starts? No. But I think there's actually a better opportunity for Maguire to be dropped than for us to not see Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, that's where my mind is at. So
President Jeffries again. Oh Lord. Well, Rude Penguin is saying if we do a back three, Maguire will start. Back four, then please God no Maguire. I definitely agree with you, Rude Penguin, for sure. Brian is saying Ralph will go with experience and Scott will join the squad for training. Will start. Yeah, I don't mind Scott. Scott actually has Scott's best performances have actually been against Manchester City. So I don't mind Scott starting. Robert is saying Harry. Yeah. Harry Maguire will probably start. Hopefully he is on his best that day. But we have seen Harry Maguire this season. That's all I can say.
So what about now if in the event now that we end up playing with a back five with the wing backs then?
A back five? Well,
so like a 5-5-3-2 or 5-2-3?
Or 5-4-1. It could, you never know. So
yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind a back five, but my issue with a back five is that I want all five players to be on the same communication channel. I don't want when a ball is being played over the top, four people are playing one guy offside, and it takes an idiot like Luke Shaw to play him onside. I don't want that because I've seen that multiple times. I've seen it with Luke Shaw too many times. I've seen it with Harry Maguire as well too. Harry Maguire knows he's not fast enough. When a ball is beating Harry Maguire, the first thing he does, he turns to the linesman, hoping that it's offside. He waves. Hey, is it offside? Is it offside? No, that means I have to run for the football. Okay. And that's what it's about.
So what would be the lineup if we were a 5-4-1? What do you think? What would be your preferred lineup?
A 5-4-1.
So we could start with it would have to be start from the wing backs and work our way in.
Yeah.
So you will be playing probably in that case. I probably have Shaw as the wing back on one side and probably Wan-Bissaka on the other side. and then you'll throw.
whoa.
And you could put Dallo. You could put Dallo. No, just Wan-Bissaka just chase down people and tackle, because I don't want him in the back line, because we know his positioning will be off and he can be prone for drawing fouls there. But if you catch him up a little bit up top, at least if he draws the foul, it's not as dangerous of a free kick opportunity. So that's the reason why I was saying that instead. So then from there, now you start working away, and that's two of them right off the bat there. Yeah, and then you could put Tellez in there, and then probably also I would still want Varane and Lindelof.
Start over. So you're playing both Shaw, Tellez, Wan-Bissaka, and Dallo?
No. I said from the wing backs and starting to work my way in.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. So I was saying that from there. So I said Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. So then you would have Tellez, Varane, and Lindelof.
So Tellez is a centre back.
That's why he has me so confused.
So
we if we remember, Shaw has played left centre back for Manchester United and played it very well.
So and those two could interchange as well too if need be. So you could swap those two positions as well, but those would be the five that I would like to see out there.
Oh, nice.
Let's do it. Let's do it here. Devin had me a bit confused.
Yeah.
So what Zachary is saying is what a 5 something?
A 5-4-1. Yeah.
That's what Devin suggested that we could play. I don't think they have that option there.
That'll be a 3-5-2 then. No wait.
Yeah, well.
Or a 3-4-3.
Your wing backs are going to be pushing up into the midfield, so that is probably what it's going to look like more than anything else. A 3-4-3.
A 3-4-3 or a 3-4. Anyway, we'll go with a 3-4-3. All right.
If we go 3 in the back, I am 100% sure it's going to be Maguire, Lindelof, and Varane.
Harry Maguire as he left of the centre back trio.
No, he would be the centre back.
He'll be the central centre back then.
Unfortunately.
So who will be the left centre back of the trio? Varane?
No, it'll be Lindelof, and Varane will be on the right side.
Can I swap these two? It's all good. And then Varane.
I don't like this team already. Yes, forget that. Go 4 in the back. Go 4 in the back. I don't like this team at all.
Yeah, because my thing is that
Fred and Scott in the midfield is with a back 4 is enough. And I suspect we're going to see Wan-Bissaka again and probably Shaw because they're more defensive than the low and Tellez. I think that is enough. 5. There's 3 in the back. That's too much, man.
So this is more suited, a 4-3-3.
Yeah. Well, that triangle is going to become inverted because I think you're going to have Fred and Scott, and then you're probably going to have Bruno on top. More likely than not, we're going to end up with Pogba on the left.
Again? No, I can't do Pogba. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, well, anybody think Fred and Scott not going to start? If Fred and Scott start, Pogba and Bruno going and play where?
I don't know, man. I just no. I'm not being sour because I just have no confidence in this team to beat Manchester City, right? But you know what? I gotta lift my spirits up for the United Hour, and I'm going to rally on with you guys and say, you know what? We're going to get a result versus Manchester City, even though we have Harry Maguire in the back. So, you guys really want Wan-Bissaka?
It's not that I want Wan-Bissaka. It's just that I think. We have seen Wan-Bissaka pocket Foden before. Why not think that he could do it again?
We've also seen Luke Shaw pocket Mo Salah, but you think that's going to happen again?
Well, it also depends if Sterling plays, because if Sterling plays, then as well, I want Wan-Bissaka there regardless, because Wan-Bissaka does play well against Sterling.
Yeah.
Correct. Which is why we need Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes on the team, because we're not going to get any creativity from our fullbacks. They're going to be
So
too busy defending.
where are you playing Pogba, in the center or on the left?
Fred and Scott at the start. We had to play Pogba on the left.
So Fred and Scott have to start. I don't really think Fred has to start, but it's all good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Ralph may be ballsy enough to play Pogba and Scott, you know.
I mean, playing Pogba on the left has worked out well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the previous season, but I haven't seen Pogba enough this season for him to play on the left as well too. Who's on the right? Elanga?
Yeah,
Or Sancho?
Ilanga.
So no Sancho?
Actually, no, Sancho for real. Sancho.
You would go Sancho there. You put Bruno as center forward, Alanga up top.
Okay, I can actually work with that. Like,
Or
I can,
Bruno behind Rashford.
Bruno behind Elanga.
Alanga.
That's my take.
Ilanga is the
That's
forward.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
You see, right now, if we can get Pogba, Bruno, and Elanga and Sancho on the same wavelength, we could cause City problems, because all four of those don't have to stand in the same position. If we can get four of them, we just lock those four in a room, give them a football, and say, don't come out of this room until the Manchester Derby, and then go on the pitch and show them what you learn, right? So, is Elanga even available in this app? Yes, he is. Perfect. Well, that is the lineup.
And hopefully we can swap out Maguire and Lindelof, but
Boy,
hopefully.
this is
So
the lineup.
guys, let's put our our confidence to the real test here now. Predictions. What are your predictions? Let's start with the man on the bottom first. Zachary, what's your prediction?
Score wise, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, if I'm having like faith that we can get a result, I could see like a 2-1 to us. Realistically, possibly like a 1 or 2 all draw, or it could just go horribly wrong and be like a 3-0 loss. So I have 3 predictions there. Sorry.
Oh my gosh! Either a draw or loss. Big Phil, from the bottom to the top.
My heart is saying 2-1 to United, but realistically, I'm going to say probably 3-0 to City.
I think we are going. This is a game I predicted to be a draw, and I don't think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I expect us to come out 2-1. 2-1 is my prediction.
You should write all these down.
If Manchester United did not have a blank in terms of fantasy, did not have a blank in game week 30, I actually was considering buying a United attacker like Sancho Elanga. Seriously. Because I don't know, it's just something. No, there's just something in my gut. I'm being honest with you. There's just something in my gut. I just don't feel we're gonna lose this game. I think we're gonna score some goals on City. I don't see a City clean sheet. I know we've been struggling to score, but I really think we're gonna score some goals. So I am going for a 2-2 draw. What say you, Devin?
As much as I hate to say this right now, I see us losing this match 3-1. Just being realistic, and I hate to predict us losing a match right now, but
President Chad saw what Spurs.
However,
he saw what Spurs did to City, and that gave President Chad some confidence. But at the end of the day, there's a chemistry between Son and Kane. There's no chemistry between.
Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter who managing Spurs. There is something about them when they play City. I will never forget that Champions League semi-final.
Yeah,
I think they also have a better midfield. They actually have a defensive midfielder, and Højbjerg.
That is also true. But we also, let me tell you something. We all know that Manchester United could beat Manchester City. And we
Yes,
all know how Manchester United could beat Manchester City. To be solid, to be compact, and to hit them on the counter attack. We have done it, and it is the only way we have done it. When Mourinho was the coach, we did it once. And when Pogba, with Paul Pogba was possibly his best game ever. And again, what it was, balls over the top, counter attack. That is how so it's not that we don't know how to beat City. The question is, will we be able to do it in this game? And that is where this whole situation with Ronaldo comes into question. Um let's go down to Kendall's yeah. Question: show me a direct quote where Ralph said he's fed up of Ronaldo because I believe it's supposed to be this is the first time I'm hearing of this. It like most things in the English press, Keanu is it was not a direct quote. A newspaper just put it out there. I'm trying to remember the name of the newspaper that put it out there. So we talk about it. But I know Ralph, even if Ralph is supremely fed up with Ronaldo, Ralph would never publicly come out and say that. And because he has never done that with any of our other players, he's definitely not going to do that with our marquee striker. But I think a lot of us as supporters a little wary of Ronaldo's form at this point. Even if we're not fed up, we're definitely wary. Rashad, we have beaten them 3 times under Ole. That is correct. And we've always beaten them the same way. Compact in the middle, frustrate them with attack, hit them on the counter attack. And even Spurs and even Liverpool, when these teams beat City, it is the same way, that counter attack, that Salah running down the road quickly, getting a ball over the top from Robertson or somebody like that. That is the way to beat City. That is just the only way to beat City. You don't try to go toe to toe with City and beat them. You have to beat City with pace over the top. That's what it is.
I mean, I think we have a better chance this time around because we had just when we lost to them at home, we had just got destroyed by Liverpool, so our confidence was low, almost non-existent. And we didn't have Varane back then, so that's definitely two big things. And Ralph is starting to get some progression with his side as well. Getting some form. So yeah, I think we have a much better chance than we did last year. So
all right, guys. So let's jump into the top shutter and the boo-boo of the week. So for those who don't know what the top shutter and boo-boo of the week segment is, the top shutter is that guy who's having an unbelievable week. He is just, Mr. Big Bollocks. Big balls, sorry. Bollocks is but big balls, he's just having a great week. He's been doing great. He's been on top of his game. And the boo-boo of the week is somebody who's having a horrible week. The kind of week you have when you miss a penalty kind of thing, a key penalty to get you through. You get your team through to the another round of maybe like the FA Cup or something like that. Yeah, that's what a boo-boo is. Somebody who is just really having a bad time. It could be a person, it could be a football team, it could be something sport related. So that is where we're at. Who wants to go first?
I will take it on this one.
All right, Devin, start us off.
So for my boo boo man, I was actually going between two for this week. So I was going to choose between either Bielsa or Kepa. And for this one, I think that I will have to go with Kepa for this one because the man's brought on. He's supposed to be this penalty specialist, and he basically did what De Gea did in the Europa League final.
It is the run on at the end of the game,
and then
lose the game.
You go into midweek and you concede in the FA Cup as well, and some goals that I thought were kind of questionable. So to me, it's just, and you're the world's most expensive goalkeeper, that as well too. Meanwhile, you have Benjamin Mendy waiting there, and that's what you do when you have your opportunity. Like, nah, that ain't it. Now, as for my top shutout, I will have to go with Middlesbrough because I mean, although they beat us under that stupid handball, they still knocked off City. They still knocked off Spurs in the next one. Excuse me. And so I know that they're going to be flying on a high right now, and don't be surprised if they do some damage to Chelsea as well coming up.
Well, right now Chelsea form a little skittish. Let's see what happens this weekend. Chelsea have a double game week this week because let's see if this this supposedly Chelsea sale is going to affect Chelsea. Big Phil.
My top shotter is Kelleher. He definitely that penalty that he took in the FA Cup final just now. No, sorry, Carabao Cup final just now. Pretty decent penalty. Um, I was going to use Thomas Tuchel as the boo boo, but it's kind of similar to what Devin had mentioned. But I'll choose another boo boo, and it shouldn't be any surprise that I choose Vladimir Putin as the boo boo guy, the boo boo man of the week. So yeah.
For sure. I will go next. We'll leave Zach for last. My top shutter this week is the goalkeeper that I don't know his name, the reserve goalkeeper for Liverpool.
Kelleher, yeah.
Because Chelsea dominated that game. Chelsea was supposed to win that game in regular time. And that man real safe. I was wondering if it's Mindy. You know what I mean? That man real safe. So he definitely is my top shutter for the week. I think, especially for a reserve goalkeeper who playing at Liverpool, you're not really going to get much time. He did not do himself a disservice at all. Um, my boo boo for the week, since you guys went with Kepper, because when I watched Kepper's performance at the time, I said, yeah, definitely you're gonna be my boo boo. One went with Kepper. Uh, Vladimir Putin is also a very good one. So my boo boo for this week is gonna have to be Tottenham Hotspurs after beating Manchester City and making a competition of the Premier League once again, right? You win a game, you went and lose to Burnley, relegation fighting Burnley, and then you go on and play what was a second division team, a championship team, and get knocked out of the FA Cup. I mean, what's going on with Spurs? I don't understand it. So Spurs is definitely my boo boo this week. Dr. Zach.
All right. Well, my top shotter will actually be Aubameyang. I think he's been doing great at Barcelona ever since he left Arsenal. I didn't really expect it, to be honest. So I watched the game when they played against Bilbao, I think it was, and they destroyed them. And so Xavi's doing a good job as well. So he could be part of the top shotter. And my boo boo would be the appointment of Jesse Marsh as Leeds United coach. He didn't last at all at Leipzig. He said it was way too hard for him, way too out of his reach or whatever, that job. And he goes to Leeds where they are struggling to get wins. They're getting a lot of goals scored on them. I don't know what makes them think that he's going to be their savior. I mean, it's going to be even more difficult with him, I believe. So I think they should have tried for somebody else, but that's my boo boo. Don't know what you all think about that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, time will tell. I mean, Leeds, there's some people that saying they may get that new coach bounce. I think Leeds is a good team, good enough to remain in the Premier League. I don't think Leeds should be getting relegated. But if you found the Bundesliga tough, I don't know that you're going to find the Premier League less tough. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Closing words, guys. Anybody have any stuff they want to say as we head out? We went extra long today. We went an hour and a half. It is 7:28.
No, all good.
You don't have anything to say. Men tired. Men tired, men hungry, men just ready to bust out. So, this is President Chad and the rest of the team. Remember, Red Devils, we don't die, we multiply. And come on, United, let's get those citizens and paint Manchester red on Sunday.
Hey, if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this community.